What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car, Steel and Aluminum, Draco Springs, Arcade Motorsports Consulting, and Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Sound like some MRN stuff starting,
yes,
or at-track radio. You know, when you
that's how we roll, you know?
We heard some of that this past weekend.
Yes, sir. Plenty of it.
Plenty
of it. Yeah, what's up, everybody? I'm Sterling.
I'm David. Did that backwards this week.
Hey, it's
different.
It happens.
Switch it up.
Remix. Yeah. How you been?
Lovely. I ain't got no physical therapy. I ain't got nothing to do.
Well, yesterday you should have played a little bit more basketball because that'd been good therapy for it.
I felt it this morning. Trust me. I played kickball and basketball yesterday.
Hey, bro.
And my ankle and my shoulder hurts this morning.
You old raggedy.
I'm done for. Trade me in on new model.
He's the next gen.
The next gen, yeah.
Yeah. A little more aerodynamic.
I don't know about that. That some gun came out on iRacing and it's rough.
Yeah, I don't like it. But anyway. Yeah, man. We have spent all weekend at the racetrack.
All of it. I like it.
Which is nice.
Well, not all of it, but the majority of it.
Majority of it. Yeah. Yeah, we did. Had a good full week. Well, I started messing around over at Darlington Wednesday. My buddy Greg over at working Fox Sports this part of the year. He works for Fox Sports and for NBC. Traveling around with the NASCAR tour all over the United States there. And so he looks out for us a good bit when they come around, and we do some fab stuff for him here and there for at the shop at Palmetto. And so yeah, he gave me a shout a couple weeks ago. They were in Richmond and was lining a few things up for us to do, and we built a cart for them to roll around the big containers that they have. They put a bunch of wire and cable and whatever in it. Yeah, a bunch of stuff and things. So made one of them. I think I made 6 or 8 of them for NBC, and he needed one for Fox. So we made that and did a little work on their man lift cage that they hang all the cameras up around the racetrack. So they hung them Thursday. I went back over there and picked that up and did a little work on it and got it back to them Friday. So yeah, we were hanging out all weekend, but they looked out for us and got us some tickets to all the festivities over there this week.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
For sure. And I'm so glad to see trucks
Whew.
back at Darlington, man.
Man, that was probably it went long, I know, but it was probably my favorite race of the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know a lot of it there was a bunch of tore up stuff in it, and I ain't all about that, really.
No.
But what I am all about was, typically with this new car and all, Darlington stretches out. And we saw that yesterday, which we'll get into. But, long green flag runs, tire wear stretch way out. And, with the cautions and stuff going on in the truck race, they weren't able to let that pan out. So, yeah, man, that was a good race. I liked it a lot. I would listen to Haley on the scanner a good bit there, and
she was scared.
She was a little nervous on restarts, and which I mean she had all right too. I mean she had never been there, at all.
Had never driven around another. See, we'll get into that later, but that's why I cannot stand this absolutely no practice stuff. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, well, for sure. But especially with rookies that have never run the track, it goes right back into the safety part of it. And I don't know. I mean, she did well, of course, but she had a lot to learn. And TJ Majors was calling the shots for her up on the spotter stand there, in the stands.
The stands right behind us.
Yeah. And he was helping her a lot with really everything there is to know about Darlington and how to get around there and the line and kind of where to put your where to hit your marks basically. And it was just hard for her to do that with the cars trucks constantly firing off around her everywhere. And I'll tell you what, dude, them fools ain't patient for nothing.
No,
they want to win it all.
No.
They want to get every spot they can get before they even make it turn one.
Yeah,
and I think that was a big thing for her. That was kind of intimidating a little bit because her trying to learn the truck, learn the track, learn how people race there because you know it well as I and everybody else does that's watched Darlington. You got to race that track a lot differently around people because your closing rate's a lot different.
Yeah, well, in most cases, you just aren't racing. You're not racing other cars. I mean, you are, but you aren't.
Right.
You're racing that racetrack. You got to learn how your vehicle, your truck, car, whatever, drives that track.
Yeah. So anyway, she did very well for the most part of the race.
Before we get too far into it, though, we set out on another venture at this truck race. We took all the family.
All the kids.
All of them.
Everybody
went.
Even Mama went with us.
Yep.
Mother's Day. Why not? She come and hang out with us. Had a blast. Been a long time since she was able to go to the racetrack. So
yeah.
She loved it too.
I had Kayla, Landon, and Jackson went to this one. It was his first race.
He did great.
He was liking it.
Oh yes.
We found him some. He can't do good. He doesn't do good with too loud of sounds and large groups of people normally. But there wasn't nobody right around us. We was good on that, and I found some work type earmuffs that were Bluetooth also. So he had his tablet over there, but they'd start and he'd look up and he'd go go go. Then they get in a wreck. And he's like, "Oh no, watch out!" Then he finally look. He said, "You okay?" It was hilarious.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think he loved it, and I think that's one thing that even watching on TV, he loves. He can get into the race. So at least we found something he knows we can take him to, and he'll enjoy it. But
yeah, he sat there the whole time.
And that's awesome for a 3-hour truck race.
Yeah, because it was extra long.
It was 200 miles, 147 laps, I think it was. Started at 7:30, and they threw the checker about 10:30.
Yeah,
right at it. So very long truck race. Blakely, little girl, she was asleep in the stands.
She couldn't make it.
She couldn't hang. Cole did good. He about fell asleep there for a minute. I think he got him a power nap. One of the cautions.
Well, I was fixing probably that red flag. He probably took him a little power nap there.
Yeah. So but he loves it. He does. Good Lord, he loves it. He's all into it. So that's cool for sure for old daddy. Love that he enjoys that, and he gets into it, man. He does. He really does. So, but we had good seats. Just past start finish line is where we were sitting, and up in the Tyler Tower there, and so we had some good pit stops in front of us, and
a
lot to look at, a lot to see, and man, it got chilly.
It got cold.
That daggone wind was blowing like crazy, and
it finally quit about the end of the race.
yeah, sure it is. So, but it was good though. It really was. It was a perfect race to take them to, and
we figured out. Which I mean, we already knew this to some extent, but we really figured out for Saturday to get whatever food we're going to have before we go to the track.
Oh Lord, have mercy!
It was
between.
responsive.
I spent 30. I think 36. You spent 39 and 15.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
for some hot dogs and a quarter pizza.
Yeah, a quarter pizza. That's about what it was. It was 8 slices, but they were some little slices.
A teeny little pizza, like a personal pan.
It was just bigger than that. Just bigger than that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know, whatever. They gotta make a little something or whatever, I guess. But dude, that just ain't no sense in it being. I mean, I got 3 drinks, 2 hot dogs, and 2 corn dogs. It was $36.
Yep.
That is insane, man, kind of. I mean, and I don't know. That was a lot, but it is what it is. There's another thing, in my opinion. You go to a dirt track.
For the most part.
And they ain't nothing.
Unless you go to Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte's pretty expensive. Well, I guess it's owned by.
I was fixing to say, if you go to a track affiliated with a cup track, then I guess prices go up on them.
Yeah, but I will say, in their defense, it was pretty cool because the kids' tickets, 12 and under, were free.
Yep.
For with the purchase of an adult ticket.
Yep.
You got one kids' ticket, 12 and under, free.
So give and take
for Friday and Saturday. So that was neat. You know, and I saw a lot of kids out there, I think, because of this. That was cool for sure. But anyway, yeah, so going back to the race, I don't know, man. Like you said earlier, I think it was definitely the best race, I think, of the weekend.
That's a lot of times the case anymore.
Well, it is. It really is, and that's kind of what I thought even before, back when they were there then. And
I think it's the distance part of it. I think it's partially the distance part of it, and then it's partially the inexperience of drivers that makes it a better race.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's the inexperience of people that know Darlington, because you see a lot more give and take on Sunday.
Right.
You know, they want to spread out. They want to get single file.
Yeah.
And just try to pass people when they can get to them or when they can get around them, whatever. Shoot.
There's a whole lot of taking and not a lot of giving in trucks.
Them fools, they 4 wide before they ever make it to turn 1.
They made it 4 wide through 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's the first time I've ever seen it.
Everybody was talking. I remember Dave Moody was even on the call. He said, I have, in my 30 years of coming here, I've never seen anyone do that at Darlington in either corner.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how they did it. Really, I don't. But man, I tell you what, all 3 series, but especially the Cup. I guess it's all generated from the Cup, and it's kind of dwindled down from that. But dude, the daggum cars on the apron now at Darlington, I ain't never seen that. But they are way down there.
It's crazy to me.
I don't know. I don't know how they can do it. Because used to, I mean, you had to be on the wall. And I mean, still, I think the fastest line around there is on the wall all the way around it. But, dude, them fools is way down there. I don't know how they getting down there like that. But even TJ was telling Haley on the scanner there that, you know, run low, try to run dead in the bottom down there in 3 and 4. And
you say it stems from the Cup Series, and I think it does, but I think it has crossed over to the entire, spectrum of racing in NASCAR. That tells me there's way too much downforce on these cars now. Cars, trucks, whatever. It's way too much. If they can run on the apron at Darlington, and that's the faster way around.
Yeah, well, definitely.
That is. What's really funny about that, though, is that was originally supposed to be the racing line.
Right.
The banking at Darlington was only put there to catch cars.
Right.
And they just figured out it was faster up there.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know. I the first person I remember in probably the last 5 years that I was starting noticing running the apron like that, especially 3 and 4, was Kevin Harvick.
Oh yeah.
And he made it. He was dominating down there for a long time. They really figured something out, and a lot of people started going to the bottom down there. But I don't know. I think still once tire wear, after about 5 laps,
exactly
on the wall, I think is the place to be.
Yeah, you can't get no drive off.
Right.
Off of 4, especially
if there's a car up there ahead of on top. You really kills you on the bottom.
2, the way you kind of diamond that corner off now, you can come off on the bottom, but you don't want to get it too much because the turn is so much sharper, and the angle of baking from the apron is a lot steeper angle, and it will mess you up. Yeah,
for sure. So, but anyway, like I was saying, but with Haley there, she drove a clean. Once the restarts, they got kind of panned out there. She lose a few spots, but she started picking them back off, and I mean, she was running good laps, and seemed like she was learning a pretty good bit. And there towards the end, they had that big old pile up with the front.
Dude.
Front what?
Well, there was 12. I counted as soon as they come out of it. there was only 12 trucks rolling
Right.
when they stopped, and some of them had gotten hit in that.
It was a huge pile up, but I don't really know. I've looked at a couple different views of it, that big wreck there, and it almost looks to me like Stuart Friesen was pushing and picked it up.
Well, it was. I mean, and unfortunately, we've seen it all weekend long.
Oh, that's what they
That
were
is
doing.
what you had to do. That is what a line had to do to get going for whatever reason. I guess there just wasn't enough grip with a single car to go. So the whole line was just pushing. So Stewart was probably pushing. I mean, there's somebody probably at some point pushing him also.
Oh, yeah.
And just so on and so on. But I guess who John Hunter didn't pick up the throttle, or who was he pushing?
He was on top.
Yeah, John Hunter was on top.
I cannot remember.
Was Corey Haim?
Corey Haim, I think he's who
Yeah.
he was pushing, yeah.
So they just, I don't know. It's one of them things. I guess tires at that point were, had they got tires? Because that's one thing about the truck race that I like, actually, is they're very limited on tires they can run.
Yeah.
And so they really have to play tire strategy.
Right.
And so that makes it better to some extent. I don't know. I like it. I hate when you see Darlington, and it's always been like this, but especially in the Cup Series, they can run 5 laps. They get a caution.
No change.
Everybody's coming back in and change tires.
Yeah, for sure.
And I understand it, but it just makes it a little better strategy game.
Oh, yeah.
When there's limited tires.
When you got 20 sets down there, you're going to change them whenever you can.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. Like you said, they were every single restart. I know the truck race and the Xfinity race, they were pushing.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just a coordinating effect there and got him loose. And unfortunately, it was at the front of the field and it gathered everybody up with him. But
I don't think I haven't seen a wreck that big at Talladega in a long time.
No, they tore it up. And that's the thing about Darlington is there's really nowhere to go.
It's so narrow right there.
So yeah, it was kind of the worst place it could possibly happen. It happened, but yeah, Haley got she got hit in the rear and got spun around there, and it didn't really tear the truck up too bad. They were able to work on it a little bit there, and I think she restarted 10th or somewhere in that ballpark. I can't remember, but then she ended up falling back and got took out at the very last lap, last corner.
Well, I'm gonna tell you who came out like a fat cat in all this. And he's a local guy for us. Oh, Jordan Anderson.
Yeah.
Jordan Anderson had ran like crap all day long, but he kept getting enough cautions. He stayed on the lead lap, stayed on the lead lap, stayed on the lead lap. This big wreck happens. Well, he's like 7th when they restart. There ends up being another caution, and these trucks are still just falling out and stuff. I can't remember where he ended up, but it was...
Oh, he finished top 10.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely top. I want to say it was like 6th or 7th that he finished.
Well, it panned out for him for sure. But, I don't know if Sheldon Creed would have had the truck to win there. I think
John Hunter had it.
John Hunter was by far the best truck there. Corey Haim was looking really good, though. That's his first time there.
And very limited truck starts, period.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
He's normally
ARCA dude.
ARCA guy with his teammate to our buddy Derek Griffith whenever he runs.
Right. So yeah, he was running very well there towards the end. So I'd like to see what would have happened there. And but I don't know. I really think that John Hunter would have probably, if it all panned out like it was, I think John Hunter would have run away with it. But Sheldon Creed took the win there, and no sponsor on the truck.
Well, have you seen the whole deal with that?
Yeah, well, there's a thing going around, and Marcus Lemonis, he's been offering up $15,000 of sponsorship to put Camping World on any truck. It don't matter. He'll put it on 10 trucks. It don't matter.
Yep.
But it's $15,000, and that's all he's offering.
Yeah, unless you win.
Yeah.
Or top 5, top 10 is tiered down, I think.
Right, but regardless, nonetheless, Sheldon Creed has not found a sponsor for the defending champion.
That's so stupid.
Which is, shows you the I guess the marketing or the business aspect of the trucks ain't that great. But anyway, So yeah, had no sponsor on the truck. They said something. I saw a post about something about Marcus Lemonis wanting to put 15 grand.
Well, he basically what happened was is somebody said exactly what we're saying. There is this crazy that the defending champion couldn't get a sponsor. Well, Marcus Lemonis come up and said it's very unprofessional, blah, kind of calling out GMS for not putting Camping World on there when they could have got $15,000. Well, Sheldon Creed come back, and I personally can't blame him. This man's the defending champion. This is a defending championship team. I mean, it's not like he just jumped ship and jumped in a smaller ride or something. Nothing like that. No. It's the same stuff. And he basically was saying his team's worth more than that. He thinks that they should. Yeah. And I can't disagree. If he thinks that, then why downgrade yourself?
Well, I can't disagree with that, but I can disagree with if I'm running a truck and I don't care, but what grade of truck, if somebody wants to offer me some money for sponsorship, I ain't too good for nothing.
I agree 100% with that. Their point is, though, and because I was kind of thinking that on that same line, their point was, though, all right, if I take $15,000 from him, everybody else is just going to come up, well, you took $15,000 from him, take the 15 from us. When they won't.
Yeah.
They probably won't double that for, I mean, in all honesty, defending champion, they probably won't double that for.
At least, I don't know.
A race.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be now.
But there was basically saying that they're spending about $100,000 a race for a truck.
Yeah.
Which is way too much in my opinion.
Ridiculous when they're not making.
It's 50. I don't know what it is because they don't put it out anymore, and I imagine every race is a little bit different. Eldor, because Kyle Busch said it, Eldor to win that race, not counting all your contingency sponsors, just the purse money to win that race was paid $15,000 to win.
Right, and hanging a body was 15.
Hanging a body was 15.
So yeah, I don't know, man.
And Darlington turned out about the same.
Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever there, I guess, but I don't think it's crazy. Something's wrong there because either they have to have too much money or the business model is not good for have people coming on want to sponsor them. Something's wrong there.
I personally think Truck Series, I really feel like they're working this whole next gen thing backwards. I really think they are. I think there should have been a generic type truck frame, whatever, chassis, come in. All right, this is what everybody's going to run here. There needs to be composite bodies for trucks. I don't know why there isn't yet. That should have been the first ones they put composite bodies on. That way, the entire body was bought, hung. You're not worried about fabricators fabricating it and getting 100th of a second here with this little bit of body filler here, nothing like that. No, you hang this piece of composite body in this location, and you're done. And little things like that cuts down on price. I mean, it's proven. That's the whole reason they did it in the Xfinity series with the bodies, because it was getting way too far out of hand when it already apparently still is out of hand in the Xfinity series.
They all are.
But I'm not understanding. Now, yes, they did the Ilmore motor, engine, crate motor as we like to call it, and that has helped a lot, in my opinion. Now, have they been... They have seemed better this year as far as durability, I guess you say.
Yeah.
Because last year and years before, they were having some troubles out of them. So
right.
I don't know.
I don't know either, man. It's all out of hand. Honestly, it is money wise to go do that,
but apparently it's not too out of hand, because if it was ridiculously out of hand, GMS would have took $15,000 for that truck.
Yeah. I don't know. It's odd, but I don't think GMS is hurting for no money exactly.
No.
So maybe they're just waiting for a better, bigger sponsor. I don't know, but I think it's hard to find a good sponsor, and another one that we'll get into in a second here would be Josh Berry, and and he ran Junior's car Saturday. First time he had been at Darlington. Showed up fantastically.
He spent some time on iRacing apparently.
Obviously, because dude, he was rolling. Finished second, and what did he say? After he took the checker flag, he said, "Man, I can do this. We just need a sponsor." And that's sad. That honestly is really sad that you got somebody like Junior Motorsports that people are throwing money at, but you got this talent in Josh Berry that cannot go ride, cannot have a full-time ride because he ain't got no sponsorship.
He ain't got the big money to come behind him.
And it's just so money-driven now, man. It's just, God, I just don't like it. I don't like it. Like Riley Hurst, for instance,
Yep.
Riley Hurst got top-of-the-line equipment now. He's got a lot of money to back him. He's got a lot of sponsorship to back him. Is he a good as of driver as Josh Berry? Not in a million years, in my opinion.
Nope.
Now I ain't throwing Ross at Josh. I mean, Josh has got he's got a good opportunity right now. I mean, but he's not set up for sure, guaranteed for a full-time ride.
No.
And he's won a race. He could be in the chase or the playoffs this year, but he has not run all the races, and will he? Probably not. I know Junior's driving a car in Richmond, I think.
Yep.
So that's just upsetting to me, man. As you got somebody like Josh that we've been following for a long time with late model stocks, and we've all thought all along that he's got the talent to do it. But going where I was stemming from that was they wouldn't take $15,000 to put Camping World on that car because it honestly wouldn't help anything much.
Well, it devalues it.
And right. So, I mean, I get it from that aspect, I guess. You're right. If you're
Norm Benning,
need the money.
if you're Norm Benning, that they black flagged eventually because he couldn't keep up with pace and he had zero damage on his truck.
Yeah, he was in the. He scared me a couple times.
Guess what he had on his truck though?
Camping World.
He had Camping World all over it.
Hey, bro, like they always said, bro, the slower you go around there, the better it helps your sponsors, bro. You can see them good.
See 'em good.
See them for a long time, and they way off the wall too, so you can see them down there.
We could see him coming down the front straightaway.
No
He was
problem.
all the way
You can
against the inside wall.
Read everything on there. They even had little baby campers on there. You can see.
Yeah.
They just advertising, but no. Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, it's you can't expect to get more if you're settling for less.
Well, it's just like in your line of work, I guess you say. What you typically, I don't know, repair a shaft for this person for X amount of dollars. Well, yeah, if you're just completely hurting for work, you may do one a whole lot cheaper. But if you're not hurting for it at the time, I mean, not just, about to close shop because of it, you're not going to just go in there and do a job for a tenth of the price.
Yeah.
Just to do it.
No. Yeah, I don't know, man. It just stinks that it's so daggum money driven. I mean,
I know.
I mean, in the truck series especially, I mean, there's a lot of good trucks in there, don't get me wrong. But honestly, you look at that, there was, in this whole season, there ain't been but about 4 or 5 trucks that could really compete for wins right now. And
that's it.
Had the KBM trucks stay clean, I don't think nobody would have touched them.
Well, counting Sheldon Creed, that's only the third full-time Truck Series driver that has won a race this year.
Yeah.
The rest has been
pretty much
Busch.
nothing but KBM stuff for sure. But how about Carson Hocevar? He did pretty good too there, and where he ended up finishing off, he got caught up in that wreck or what.
I don't know. I can't pull for him though.
I know, I either, but I like seeing the guys that come to Darlington for the first time.
Oh, I do too.
With zero practice, which is ridiculous, but come to Darlington, zero practice, haven't been around the track before the green flag other than caution laps leading up to. I just think that's pretty cool
And
to be
pick
able
up
to see
on
them
it
guys.
that quick. Yeah.
Right, because it's so different. I mean, it's so different how to drive around there. But,
I have yet to figure out why. Like, I think wasn't this Corey Haim's first race of truck season this year?
I think so, yeah.
Corey Haim. I don't think it was Carson Hocevar. I think he's run a couple, hadn't he?
I think I ain't.
But either way, there was a few people in this race that this was their first race this year.
Yeah. Why you want to pick Darlington?
I ain't kidding.
I mean, I ain't mad at it.
No, I ain't mad at it, but of all places, I don't think I would choose Darlington for me to start my truck series career at, because I'm probably going to look pretty bad in most cases.
I'm going to look nasty. I ain't lying. Well, I
don't know. You're pretty good there on iRacing.
I love Darlington. I do. I guess because I live right here at it. So a lot of people on iRacing hate it.
I hate it on iRacing. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna try to lie. I hate it on there. I
want to race at Darlington this week.
You did
last week.
You did
by about 6 seconds.
I don't think I finished the race at Darlington. None of which was my fault, actually. I will say.
Well, it happens. It happens. But yeah, I love it, man. I love Darlington. I do. But I don't know. You go run on iRacing and say, well, you can't really relate. Well, obviously you can, because Josh is running there.
Oh yeah.
We saw Ryan Truex running Thursday night. It
didn't work out for him.
Didn't work for him too much, but when you don't have practice at all,
you do what you can.
That's pretty much your only practice other than the simulator. And I don't know, kind of like Haley was saying, I think running the simulator or running iRacing helps you understand the track, but it does not help you with the intimidation of the track and the people around you.
Yeah.
Because there's pretty much one line, and you got to hit your marks, and it's just a lot going on.
Well, this is also the problem with Darlington and all that. And many drivers have said this: Darlington is never the same from race to race.
Mm-mm.
The asphalt changes so much from race to race.
Yeah.
Well, year to year anyway. So where they scanned Darlington at years ago, and what they figure the grip factor is there, however they figured that out on iRacing, I don't know, but it's probably not the same as what it really is.
No, it probably isn't. I don't know. I mean, because it's weird, but really on iRacing it is anyway, because we got in a practice before the race. And I couldn't touch throttle. I could not get on throttle with any input in the wheel. I couldn't do it. Couldn't touch the gas.
I think you were just driving too fast.
I don't think it was.
I think you were.
I don't think it was, because I got into qualifying and I was able to hit my marks, and I was able to pick up the throttle where I needed to, and was 0.3 faster in second place. I mean, I didn't feel like I was driving any harder or any less than I was. So I don't know what is so different about, I can tell a difference when rubber lays down on, on iRacing. I can tell that. But does it change that much? I don't know. But I know it changes dramatically.
Dramatic.
Is that a word?
No, I don't think so, but okay. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Is that extra dramatically?
It's drastic and dramatic all at the same time. That's a word. I just trademark. Dramatically.
Dramatically.
It changes a lot with tire wear.
It might just be the title of this episode.
I like it. Y'all don't go stealing my word now, people. 34 seconds and 34:42 in. Don't be stealing my stuff. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know. I think a lot of people did use, being that there were so many people that have not run Darlington, period, and there's no practice. I really feel like a lot of people had to use iRacing. I mean, what else could they have used?
Unless they're using the
simulator,
the manufacturer sim, but there ain't but so many people gonna get time on it.
Yeah, you ain't got much time there. So anyway, all in all, I think the truck race was a great race. It was long, record-setting amount of cautions in it.
What was it end up being? 12?
11 or 12.
11 or 12, yeah.
So, yeah, like we said, Sheldon Creed ended up coming up with a win. A lot of good trucks were taken out. I don't think Sheldon would have won that race at all had that not happened.
He was a, I don't know, 5th, 6th place all day long.
Yeah, he definitely was not a winning truck, but hey, he was there when it counted, and he got through the wreck there and the big one.
Oh, Stewie was running pretty good.
Yeah, he was. He really was.
He was consistent until he wasn't.
Yeah.
He had a tire problem one time though, so he was going to be down a set of tires on that on that stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Had he not gotten in that.
Right.
There was a wreck on the front straightaway though. That was it before the red flag? Yeah, it was before that one. That was a hard hit. I don't even remember who was in it. You remember who was in it?
No.
I remember it was right in front of us, and there was a truck that slid and almost stopped, and all of a sudden...
Dude come sliding into him.
About 100 mile an hour. Wow!
Hard. They were all okay, thankfully, but yeah.
It looked way worse than it was, apparently.
Yeah, definitely. So, but anyway, it was really cool. Long race. Got out of there 10:30. Was home by 11:15. It wasn't too bad.
I was fixing to say, if you do that, you're okay.
Yeah. So Saturday, the Xfinity race was at 1:00. So we went out and did a little Mother's Day shopping and let the kids get their mamas something for Mother's Day, and then we headed back over to the racetrack. And
yeah, it was a boys' day this time.
Yeah. Chicken tender and chicken nugget went with us.
Yeah.
And we stopped before and got hot dogs and stuff before we
did
got to the racetrack.
Got some good old gas station hot dogs.
And everything's is good too. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Good.
I think that's all I ate all day was hot dogs.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, I ate them there. Then I ate them at I'll talk about it in a little while. I ate them at Florence Motor Speedway that night. That's all I ate all day. Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Hey, that's great stuff. I want to go to Martinsville and get a hot dog soon. Anyway,
let's go there. Just get a hot dog.
Let's do it.
I care less about the race.
Let's go.
Get a hot dog.
But so anyway, got over there just in time. They were actually doing driver introductions by the time we got over there. So we got our seat, and again, great seat. So we appreciate that from Greg and them at Fox, and got up in time to get seated there and get our scanners all hooked up, and we decided we were going to listen to Noah Gragson there for that race, and
easy. She got bones in it.
I went down the wrong way. But anyway, that was a good race too for the most part. Kind of interesting though, and I guess as we find out, what they did was probably the fall of their.
Well, they are appealing it.
Okay, well, before they got rolling there, Noah was talking with his crew chief a little bit, and it's so different than listening to Haley in the truck race on Friday night to listening to Noah and his crew chief on Saturday.
Oh yeah,
the amount of code words they use is ridiculous.
Well, the amount of code, but just the amount of information also.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking at...
As soon as they got on the track, it was just all these numbers Noah was throwing out, and I'm like, huh?
He's looking at all these different race cars, telling track bar where they're at, this, that. I mean, just constantly, all these different race cars. But so anyway, so they supposedly, I guess, they talked over the week and decided to do something drastically different to the car this week. And what all it was, I don't know, but I do know that they were guessing on the splitter, this, that, and the other, something different. And the spotter was taking pictures of other race cars and sending them to the crew chief, looking at side skirts and all this stuff. There was so much going on. And supposedly they were opposite of everybody.
Yeah.
I couldn't see no different. I was like, everything looks exactly the same. So I don't know what all they were talking about exactly, but that could have been something, nothing to do with a side skirt. It could have been something else on the race car. But, another thing they kept on talking about was adjusting your steering coming to the green. I don't know what he was talking about there either.
Well, he was saying get your nose straight. I think what he was saying, this the only thing I could figure out there, was what he was saying was as soon as you get out of turn 4. Don't be like on the bottom, just kind of rolling it up. Get it and get turned straight down the straightaway.
Okay, yeah, maybe
I think that's what he was saying.
Maybe so. He didn't spin tires and
Right.
get all
Just
jacked up.
Just get it good and straight down the straightaway.
Okay. Maybe that wasn't code.
I don't think that was code, but there was a lot more.
There was a lot of code. But so anyway, I think he started 4th or somewhere along in there, and he was in the Dash for Cash bonus guys. He was one of those. And, man, for the most part, Junior Motorsports has some good race cars.
Well, apparently, I'll put it this way. If y'all haven't seen, what we're talking about is Noah got a penalty after the race. Penalty was all they say on. They don't give you specifics anymore, but they say there was part of the suspension that was supposed to be bolted, locked down, however.
And it was adjustable.
But it was it could move.
Right.
So I don't, who knows what it is. They don't tell you if it's front, rear, side. They don't tell you nothing. They just say it has, normally that's something with track bar.
Right. Yeah. Something allow it to shift or
right.
Something, not too long ago, they had it where one of the bolts would fail.
It would break, yep.
And once it failed, then it would allow the car to drop or
right,
whatever, or shift or whatever. And that could be what it was. Who knows? I don't really know. But the car was fast for sure. And that's another thing too is they all stretch the rule book. Every single one of them. If you ain't stretching the rule book, you ain't running top 15 by no means.
Well, that's very true. But when's the last time you heard of a Junior Motorsports team car getting a penalty?
Yeah, you don't hear about it.
No.
So, but whatever that is, that's the thing about it. That's the thing that kind of gets me. But it's in the rule book, and it's there's no gray area for sure. You're either good or you're not. But we've heard a lot about Hendrick Motorsports and a lot of these people trying different things and failing post-race inspection and going to the rear and all that stuff.
Chase Elliott's apparently done it a bunch before the races this year.
A lot. But, for one thing, this is one thing that I wonder. These dudes are smart. So are they doing something apparent that is noticeable to take the official's eye off of something else?
Oh, yeah, I think so. And I think that's pre-race stuff.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
But,
But now there is certain things after a race that, and Darlington being one especially, because you get in the wall so much there. I would, if I were a crew chief, I'd probably have a talk with my driver before the race. Like, look, I don't care if you don't hit the wall the whole day. When you come out of turn 4 on that last lap,
hit the wall.
Hit the wall.
Yep.
That way, at least you can claim it was crash damage,
right,
that caused this part to fail, or
exactly. Try anyway. But yeah, I don't know, man. What were they testing for? Because they kept relating a lot to Homestead, and were they trying?
Yeah, but what does Homestead do for you? Because they don't run Homestead.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. What are they testing for? What are they trying different? Because really, other than Homestead, what are they trying that's going to help them anywhere else?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, the only other thing they got is Darlington, the second go round here.
Right.
I mean, that's.
I don't know.
But apparently, yeah, Noah might got caught on this, but apparently all the Junior Motorsports cars found something, because they were 1, 2, 4, and 7, I think it was.
Yeah, they were all up in there.
Or they're all trying something. Noah just the one that got caught.
Right. So, but anyway, that kind of he panned out, and honestly, it looked like whoever had clean air was the car. I mean, it's like once second place would get to the rear bumper or the leader, you just lose a nose.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, who had the better car? I don't know. It all kind of seemed on whoever had the best restart. And that was tough too, because it was all in push. It wasn't where it used to be you wanted to start on top. For sure.
Right.
And then also you could start on bottom. If you were leading the race, you could start on bottom and get the jump and get up in front of the second place man. But that was not the case at all this weekend from what we saw. I mean, it was all in push. Who had the better line to push?
Well, I'm going to tell you, and this going towards the end of the race there. Josh Berry had the lead there at one point. Then he was in second at one point. He had a few cautions right there at the very end of the race. I'm going to tell you, I know it was his teammate, and if it wouldn't have been his teammate, I think it might have just been inexperienced at Darlington. Man, I wish he would have just stayed in it that last time because Allgaier was at his right rear when they entered turn one, and Josh Berry backed out of it. And Allgaier got to run around the top. He didn't let out. I know he didn't let out.
No. I mean,
I just wish Josh would have stayed in it right there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, he got a little loose right there. But
yeah, the reason I wish he stayed in it though was because
he could have leaned on him.
He could have leaned on him, and it'd have been fair play because the restart before that, Allgaier leaned on him a lot going in the corner.
Oh, definitely. But I mean, watching Allgaier on that second to last restart when Josh started on top.
Yeah.
Justin did a fantastic job.
Oh, he did.
Of dragging. I mean, he went up there and kind of just barely got into him just a little bit, just to drag him a little bit on entry and upset his entry going into one. And I mean, that's exactly what you needed to do.
Yeah.
And then on the next restart, when Justin started on top, I mean, he pushed Josh way down the racetrack to really upset his entry going into one. And I mean, Justin knew what he was doing. He knew he had to get that lead coming through one in order to win the race. I mean, that was it because I think the clean air by that point, I mean, he just couldn't do nothing else with him.
Right.
But all in all, Josh did a fantastic freaking job running Darlington. And I mean, just throughout the race, throughout the green flag laps, I mean, just working traffic, working cars, picking them off one by one. He was making the bottom work awesome in 3 and 4. He was probably the better car I saw in 3 and 4 all day as far as the bottom because everybody else really lost a lot of momentum off of 4 where he didn't as much. So, but I don't know. I don't think Justin had the best car.
No.
At all. So
no, I really think Noah had, between Noah and
Harrison
Burton had the best car all day.
I think Harrison definitely had a good car. Dale Hemrick had a good car.
For a little while
there, and he I don't know what he do. She sped on pit road, or
I don't remember.
They had a tire down, and I can't remember what all happened to him. But anyway, but there again, it was like whoever got out front on a restart was the best car. Yeah. I mean, that's just what it seemed like to me. It was not a dominant car anywhere.
Noah's car, though, did not look like he could get into 3 as fast as some of the guys could, especially for the first, 10 laps.
Yeah, I don't know why, but he definitely was not driving it nowhere near as deep as most of them guys. But
yeah.
AJ Allmendinger had a good car. But I don't know. I think far as overall, like you say, in long run speed, Harrison probably had the best car there. But, but as a lot of times it does at Darlington, it comes down to a green, white checkered pretty much. And
what was so funny, though, and I told you this in the middle of the race, I look over there in 3 and 4, and there's the old Interstate Batteries paint scheme and the old Home Depot paint scheme racing each other.
Yeah, that was funny.
The guy looked like 1999 Joe Gibbs over here.
It sure did. Yeah. Oh, Riley Hurst and Ty Gibbs. So Ty was fast.
Ty was fast, and he messed up. He sped on pit road on the last stop. He had made his way all the way up to.
He was like 4th or something.
Yeah, that's his first trip to Darlington.
Yeah, he was rolling there. I mean, he had a good car. And I don't know if I don't know, but he definitely was strolling for sure. So, but glad to see Justin. I like Justin. He's a pretty cool dude, and he's always one to kind of just let back and let people go, and he don't really race aggressively. So, from that aspect, I kind of like seeing how he raced his teammate Josh. I mean, he raced him clean, but he was aggressive on his restarts, and he knew he had to do that for sure. But anyway, hats off to Josh Berry. Really hope he gets a sponsor lined up for next year and can run the whole season.
Yeah, it sounded like I was listening to the Dale Jr. download the other day, and it really sounded like Dale Jr.'s putting a lot of focus on getting Josh Berry in a car for next year, which also makes it kind of sound like to me that Junior may be really going forward on this a Cup team deal.
Yeah, I don't know. That may very well be the case. I don't know who would go there, but we've talked about that before. But I know that that Junior has been loyal to Josh, and Josh the same.
Well, that's the thing is he's been loyal to everybody on his teams.
Yeah, he has for sure. But Josh has run late model stocks for Junior for a long time.
Yeah, and they were talking about that the other day when he was on there after he won Martinsville. Did you? I didn't really know this. I know he drove the car, but Josh actually runs that whole side, the late model side for
right.
them.
Yep.
And even when they put other people in another car, his car, whatever else, he's the one out there coaching them. They say he coached Noah.
Right.
And still coaches, is basically a driver coach for Noah.
Right.
So Josh is a little more, I guess, inside man at Junior Motorsports than what it even seems like. So
yeah, for sure. But I mean, dude, that's my thing is how many times do you got to prove yourself?
Yeah, I know. I guess the thing is, and it sucks because it's not him. I really don't think it is. I wonder if some of these sponsors look and say, well, he's run good at these smaller tracks like Martinsville or at a track like Darlington where, but in our opinion, I know this is your opinion also, if you can win at those tracks or run up front at those tracks anyway, apparently you're a good driver.
Oh, for sure.
Because a mile and a half ain't telling nobody what kind of driver you are anymore, but that's the majority of the schedule. So, well, if they're not showing good on this mile and a half, then they're probably not going to show good the rest of the year.
Well, no, I think that does have a lot to do with it. But the other thing that's hurting him is his age.
Yes,
he's not 18 years old anymore. But I don't really think Junior cares about that. I don't.
Junior don't. I think the sponsors do. But if they were smart, they would jump on somebody with some experience.
Right. But I mean, you take Michael Annett, and he finished 7th. He had a
That's a wonderful day for him.
But
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but that's a wonderful day for him.
Well, he's never a dominant driver.
No.
He's got dominant equipment, but he's never a dominant driver. But what he does have is endless sponsorship.
Yep.
Obviously. He's got all the sponsorship in the world that he needs to support that car, and probably more than that they throw at Junior Motorsports. So, I can't fault. I mean, honestly, you can't do it. You can't fault Junior and his organization for keeping that car going.
Well,
with that,
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But this goes back almost to the conversation we had with the Truck Series teams. Just like GMS, they ran with no sponsor because they didn't want to devalue themselves. Well, when does it come into play, even though you got all the sponsorship dollars? Now, granted, Michael Annett ran good this past week. I mean, I'm not taking that from him. But when does it come into play, the performance side of it? When does the bad performance start devaluing your team?
Oh, I agree. I mean, to me, in my opinion, it goes to Eric Amarola.
Yes, it does.
He's got all the sponsorship in the world and a fantastic car. But he ain't talking about leaving. Ain't nobody ever talking about him leaving. Because
when he leaves the team, it's on his terms.
Right. And I honestly think it's especially a full-time season sponsor is practically impossible to come by nowadays. And, they say $30 million for a Cup team a year. If that's what Smithfield's paying for Eric Amarola, they can say what they want. That money's going and helping that organization out.
Well, it's definitely helping the 41 team out
tremendously. So, we let this big $30 million go. What we're going to replace it with? Yeah, we may replace it with a showcase driver, but if we can't afford to put him in the car, what is it going to do? And I think that's kind of
yes, but at some point the showcase driver has to bring on good money from talent. I mean,
you would think, but where's it at?
Say that one car. All right, say the one car at Junior Motorsports. All right, yes, right now it's got endless money, as you just said. But if it was plain white going out there, and all of a sudden, let's say Josh Berry's in it, he goes and wins at Martinsville, he goes and runs second at Darlington, so on, starts running good. Eventually, people are going to say, we need to be on this car.
I agree with that, but why ain't it happen?
I know.
I mean, why ain't it happening? That goes right back to like Derek Griffith, for instance. His talent is way above and beyond what the money he can bring sponsorship wise. Can Derek go outrun Michael Annett in his own equipment?
I think so.
All day long, in my opinion. So, like we get back to always, it's always about money, not talent. And fortunately, in Josh's side, and Josh is taking up for him a little bit, is you got Kelly Earnhardt, Dale Jr., God knows, the whole Junior Motorsports, everybody.
Hendrick Motorsports.
Is on Josh Berry's side.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a lot going for him. And he's such a humble dude. He's just an old, laid-back, regular dude. You talk with him at a short track. He's over at Florence a lot.
Yeah.
He's just a regular old guy. He don't try to be somebody that he's not. He just tries to be it's just him. It's just Josh. And bad as I hate to say it, I think that hurts him in sponsorship.
I do too, because everybody looks at him, oh, he's just a late model driver.
Exactly. And he's just a laid back. He's not anything. He's not a spotlight that
he's not a Kyle Busch.
Exactly.
He's not a Ty Gibbs.
Just like Derek Griffith. He's not
in personality, not in talent. We're not saying talent. We're talking about in personality.
And he's just a Derek Griffith, laid back dude. He's not one to sell himself, I guess. He lets his talent and his how he drives on the racetrack speak for himself. And that's the thing, I think that's kind of how Josh does. Well, I don't think that's enough for a sponsor anymore.
Which sucks.
It does, 100%. I mean, because, Noah Gragson, his personality and, we've seen him down in Daytona and the way he acts and the way he talks to people, and he just runs around and acts fool and crazy and just...
I can't say nothing bad, because when I ask to talk to him, he comes right up to us.
Oh, he does. And I mean,
super nice guy.
But that's what I think sponsors want at this point. They want somebody that's outgoing, talk to everybody type person.
Kid
right.
is what they want.
So
they think if they hire kids, they're going to bring kids into the sport. Well, it's like they want a personality, but then they want to stifle the personality.
Right.
At the same time. I don't know.
I don't either. We'll see what happens, but, I know Junior can, from what we've seen, Junior Motorsports has not had a problem getting sponsorship. Now, I think a lot of that sponsorship has required Junior to be in the car for at least a race.
Yeah.
I know Hellman's is a big sponsor of them, but, I think that was kind of a deal. Whether he wanted to or not, he kind of had to drive the race car.
Well, but I will say, because I remember Kelly being on NASCAR radio, Sirius NASCAR radio. This was about, I don't know, probably 3-4 years ago now. When Elliott Sadler was driving for him, they were actually having some sponsorship trouble there because One Main actually had left.
Yeah.
They weren't coming back. And then, and the reason they were leaving was because ownership of the company was changing hands, and the new owner didn't think it was good, and blah, 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 blah. Well, apparently, Kelly must have went in there and sent him on a vacation or something. I don't know what she did. And all of a sudden, One Main was back for Elliott to come back a year. So they've always been, but they've been very open about it too. I guess that's the thing, is you probably hear it more because you just don't hear it from the other teams.
No.
Kelly and Dale talk about it, trouble getting sponsors and stuff. But then you look at Ty Gibbs in the ARCA car, just the ARCA car.
Yeah.
Last 2 races he's running the ARCA car. Monster Energy's been his sponsor forever. They're not even on his car, and those were one of which was a FS1 race.
Yeah.
So,
yes, it's strange. It really is strange with all the sponsors and stuff. But anyway,
you really figure Rowdy Energy might would step up by now.
I know, bro.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, and I ain't trying to talk junk. Maybe some of y'all like it, and did we talk about this on there? I don't know if we talked about it or not. Speaking of Rowdy Energy, I'm just gonna bring it up here. We bought every flavor that they had at Camping World. Every flavor, because that's the only place we could find it down anywhere close here was Camping World. Other than ordering it, I ain't found a flavor I like yet.
Nah. No.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I want to like it.
I want to
but
like it.
I can't like it, bro.
I wanted to. That's why we bought every flavor they had. I was looking at that cherry limeade one they had, and I was like, I love cherry limeade, especially from Sonic. This is gonna be good. I was highly disappointed.
We were wrong. Faux show. But yeah.
But anyway,
some people like it. Maybe they'll step up and sponsor him. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
I just can't. But yeah, in sponsorship, I just can't believe that Monster's not even on Ty Gibbs stuff for those
Rowdy.
races.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Well, Monster hadn't been. I can't believe Rowdy ain't step. Obviously they can't if Monster's coming back for so many races. It'll be a conflict of interest.
Well, maybe Monster's waiting for Kurt Busch to leave, and they'll go full time to. I don't know. They got sponsors everywhere. They sponsor.
Well, they sponsor Haley. They sponsor
Riley Hurt.
Riley. They sponsor Ty. They sponsor Kurt. They had to spend money somewhere because NASCAR didn't want them as a primary sponsor anymore. Because from my understanding, they want them to come back, but no.
Yeah, who knows? But so anyway, hats off to Justin Allgaier for winning the Xfinity race there at Darlington for sure. It was a good race. We enjoyed it. Loved having the kids there with us, and sitting out there eating bowl peanuts and watching our race don't get much better than that for sure. So, Sunday was Happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Well, I'm gonna go back real quick. I'm gonna go back to Saturday.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about. I didn't go.
He didn't go.
So I forgot.
He didn't go with me, but I went. Me and Landon decided we left Darlington and we wanted some more racing.
Can't get enough.
Couldn't get enough. We ate up with it, as some people have said. So we headed over to Florence Motor Speedway at a prelude to Darlington. It was I'm gonna tell you what, son. It was a packed house over there.
Sweet.
Packed house.
I'm glad to see it.
And I really think, and that goes back because I know you remember it back in the day when we used to, when we were little before we could even drive, but we were still over at Florence Motor Speedway all the time with our daddies, and this was typically Labor Day, but regardless, the weekend of Labor Day race because it was on Sunday, typically, that Saturday night would be a big race at Timmonsville or Florence Motor Speedway. And some of the drivers, cup drivers would end up being over there. I remember seeing Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty and Rusty Wallace, I think it was, over there one night years ago. So it's really cool to see kind of turning back to the same thing. There wasn't no cup drivers or nothing over there. Gus Dean was over there. He won actually. So but man, they put on a show. They had all kind of daggone cars out there for sure. They had had late model stock. Then they had the Carolina Pro late models. Had super trucks, Allison Legacy cars, modifieds. There were 602 modifieds and a Charger class. Woo! And every one of them had a big, pretty big crowd in them. Other than the Allison Legacy cars, they had 6 in there, but they put on an awesome race actually. And the 602 modifieds, which isn't something we typically see around here at all. We get a smart modified tour every now and then, and they bring a crowd with them. But 602 modifieds something new around here. But there were still 5 of them in it. So it was cool to see. Man, it started out with Allison Legacy cars. And I'm gonna tell you what, the boy on there, Drake Williamson. I'm sorry. Oh, this was a good race. They him and I can't remember who it was. Was it Jacob O'Neill? I can't remember. It was anyway. They fought this whole race. They ended up spinning each other out. They put them to the back. They drove back to the front.
Dang.
Oh, it was something else. And Drake still come out on top. I actually talked to him over there, and he was really cool. And he, young boy, I want to say he's like 17 years old or something like that. Good driver, though. Real good driver. And he brought it home there in the Allison Legacy Series. After that was the 602 Modifieds, and that was another, as they like to call it, a barn burner. And I'm going to tell you, that was a good race. Cars front to back. There was some blocking going on. There was some spinning people out going on. There was some and I mean, it was just hard-nosed racing, good hard-nosed racing over there. There was a girl in there, her name Amber Lynn, in the number 27 car. She was fast. Fast. And then all of a sudden, about 5 laps ago, I think it was, something broke in the rear end. Because I heard it coming down the back stretch, and all of a sudden just revved up really high. And I saw him over there working on the rear end of the car, looking at it. And I don't know if she broke an axle or broke the rear end. Just something broke in the rear end. But anyway, Junior Snow in the number 51 ended up winning that one. Real good race. And then come the what was after that? I think it was Super Trucks after that. There was 13 of them in there. Another awesome race. The 07 of Clint King ended up winning that one. But I'm gonna tell you what, there was some beating and banging in this one. Cody Kelly, who has been really, really good over there in the number 5 truck, he got took out going down the straightaway. I mean, in the front, put him in the front wall. Jeez. They right reared him, and it was ugly. Tore that truck up bad. So, there were some paybacks in these races. And, I mean, but it was good racing. Then, after the trucks were out there, it was time for the 75-lap late model stock race. And, man, let me tell you, that was, there was some rooting and gouging, and they put on a good race. There were 17 of them in that class. And that doesn't sound like a whole lot of cars, people, but I'm going to tell you what, at Florence Motor Speedway, that's a full track.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That is, but they were running off the top. I mean, dude, I'm going to tell you what, they come off turn 2, it looked like they'd hit the cushion off the top, just shoot off 2.
Really?
You wanted to be on the outside for the starts, which is very unusual.
Yeah.
I mean, it made for some awesome racing, though. They were racing side by side for multiple laps. Ryan Glinsky ended up winning this race. But let me tell you what happened. That doesn't just say what happened here. Next to last restart, I think it was, Ryan Glinsky started on the top. I think he led about the whole race for the most part anyway. He started on the outside. Well, he got a little too happy, and he jumped said cushion that wasn't really there. And for y'all that don't know, Florence Motor Speedway does not have a backstretch wall. It only has from exit turn 4 to entrance to turn 1. That is the only wall that's there, other than inside it, but no outside. Well, he come off 2, and he slid off track, but he never let out the gas. All of a sudden, he is sideways, comes back across the track in front of the whole field, collects, I cannot remember who he collected in it. Regardless of who it was, he hit him. And when he did, it turned him nose first off the track out of turn 3. It straightened him up. It straightened the 28 of Ryan Glinsky up. But he had it completely sideways through 3 and 4. Looked like he was on the dirt track. They threw a caution, and because he didn't necessarily cause the caution, because he never officially spun out, he was still the leader.
Jesus. Woo, he got lucky there, boy.
I'm telling you. I don't know how 10 cars didn't hit him. They all split him, and he come, like I said, just caught one car and spun him off the track, but he ended up getting a push back on the track and kept on going too. Oh, it was something else. It was crazy, but he ended up winning. Oh, Matt Cox finished second there in the Chad McCumbee Motorsports number 51 there. Then was a tour race there, the Carolina Pro Late Model Tour, and Truck Series driver Gus Dean brought home the win in the Carolina Pro Late Model Tour. Caution-free race. They run 100 laps caution-free.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not normal at Florence.
Sarah Cornett Ching was in it also, our past ARCA driver. She ended up 6th. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other notable names in there. Yeah, that was a good race. Real clean race, like I said, caution-free. But they were nose to tail the whole time. That's a good series. I like that series. I like them cars, old straight rail cars that they're running. All right, then the last race of the night, I was helping our buddy Shay Lane out, and I went up and spotted for him on the stand, because normally I can just stand on top of the trailer and spot at Florence. Nah, they had such big haulers in there.
Yeah, you ain't.
No. I had to go to the spotter stand this time. So me and Landon went up to the spotter stand. I had Landon holding the race monitor up for me so I could see how our times were looking compared to other people's. That actually worked pretty good. I felt like a NASCAR spotter up there with all my stuffs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good stuff. But Averitt Lucas took home the win, and I'm gonna tell you what, he's got a fast car.
As always,
but man, that car is fast. Bobby Tunstall, the third, was second. Brian Owens third, and our boy Shay Lane brought it home in fourth out of, I want to say there were 18 of them in that class. So and that was also a caution-free race, and I give it to Shay. He was running. He got caught up a little bit trying to pass for fourth. And they got away from him in front of him a little bit. But by the end of the race, Brian Owens was a car length in front of him. That was it. And I really think he could have got third had there been a caution. So, but it was a good, clean race, so can't ask for much more than that. I say it was good, clean. It was not caution-free. Let me take that back. The first lap of the race, very first lap, Shay was on the bottom, started 5th. Corey Weatherford was outside of him. And I'm just assuming nobody told him that Shay was below him. Because where I was standing on the spotter stand, I actually had to look kind of around the corner of the box, the main tower there.
Yeah.
So when they went in turn 1, they were side by side, and that's what I saw. And this ain't but a split second that I couldn't see them. I mean, all of a sudden, the next thing I see is a 96 of Corey Weatherford is across Shay's nose sideways.
Uh-oh.
Well, Shay never let out the gas, though. He said, I wasn't slowing down because they might have made me go to the back. So Shay just hit the gas and come back out of it, still where he was. They spun around, and they threw the caution out, so they had a complete restart, and then went caution-free. So it wasn't technically caution-free, but as far as laps counted, it was caution-free.
Yeah.
So, but apparently they did not tell him Shay was below him because he just kept on coming to the bottom. And he was about a half car. He was about a half car. He was up to his door almost. I mean, it wasn't like he was just inside of him.
Jesus.
No, it was way up there. So, it was an awesome race out at Florence Motor Speedway. Our friends over there, Savannah and Steve, and they do an awesome job. They've done an awesome job, man. I'm looking at everything they've already remodeled there. They got up a new scoring tower. I mean, not tower, but a scoreboard. Put up a new one.
Did all kind of work on the.
They're doing work on
tower
the tower up there. They tore down part of it and putting part of it back up. Man, this place looks night and day different from what it did, and they're doing it right. I mean, they're doing what they can when they can, and it just is making a huge difference out there. It looks great, and I appreciate Savannah, especially over there. She has helped us out a ton. So we like to try to return the favor a little bit and talk about what they got going on over there. So I think it was an awesome deal having the prelude to Darlington there. They had actually Danielle Lockamy driving the pace car, the Darlington pace car. They brought it over from Darlington and drove it at Florence there.
Sweet.
So that was cool. But it's just a good deal, good race. I was hoping old Josh Berry might have showed up over there to race the late model stocks afterwards.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he would.
I was too, but no, it was good. There was, man, the stands was packed out over there, and I'm so glad we got a track literally 5 minutes from us here. This putting money back into the sport, not just money, but just time and effort, giving people an awesome place to go race, awesome place to watch a race. So it's really, really cool what's going on over there. Something else that was really cool over there too. I walk in, I go to walk in, and now Florence Motor Speedway is a NASCAR home track.
Right.
Well, on the big old banner for Florence Motor Speedway, guess who's a sponsor over there? Can you guess?
SRI.
SRI Performance.
How about it?
Who'd have thunk it? I would have thunk it because they're sponsors everywhere because they are all in racing. They are all about racing all the time. That's another company that just like them, the $500 redraw awards that they did at Bristol. They give back to the sport so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Greg Fernelli and the whole crew up there, you see the SRI hauler that they're selling parts out of at a NASCAR races.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not saying he ain't making some money. I mean, because apparently he is. That's how you make it in business. But they give back to the sport.
Yeah. For sure. They're everywhere, though. I don't understand it. I don't get it. How are they everywhere? Every race I go to, there's an SRI trailer there. I don't know how.
I love it. Love it.
It's awesome.
Gives us people to hang out with and go talk to. There wasn't an SRI trailer at Florence Motor Speedway, but you can get some SRI parts if you need them. I'm sure of it.
Oh, yeah.
Make a call over to the Cup track.
Yeah.
Tell them to meet you outside. But anyway, guys, yep, SRI, as always, got everything you need for your race car. Not even for your race car only. There's some stuff for your street cars there. I know, especially this time of year when the weather starts getting really nice, it's time to get outside and wash your car. They got all the Lucas Slick Mist products, everything like that. Not just Lucas. They got every other brand. They got so much stuff, car detailing kits that they have in stock. Go check them out on sriperformance.com. And at checkout, make sure you use promo code CBONE10. That's C as in
chicken.
BONE 10. Get 10% off there at checkout. Also, same deal with stock car steel and aluminum, guys. Seen some of them cars getting beat up. There was a couple at Florence Motor Speedway the other night. I know they're gonna need some doors and some quarters and stuff like that. So they might have to be calling over there and doing some patchwork.
Yeah, both show.
It happens.
There's gonna be some trucks. They gotta go buy some more body parts. Good Lord.
Yeah. Darlington. There's probably a lot of them that's gonna be hollering at them for not only that, but SRI supplies. That is all your fasteners and all those needs.
They probably even got toilet paper because a couple of them truck guys is gonna need some toilet paper.
They needed some when they went down in turn 1. They was calling for the brown pants, I promise.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Go check them out, guys. They got everything you need for your racing needs because they are your one-stop shop for all things racing. Know who else people need to call on over there? Just like, look what was over there. There were 602 modifieds.
Show was.
You know who has some of the best 602 engines around?
Mr. Earl Ramey.
Earl Ramey with Earl Ramey Racing Engines. You guys go check him out. Not only does he have some of the best engines, period. Doesn't matter what kind of engine you need, anything from any type race car up to airplanes. If you want it, he knows what he's doing on them. It's crazy.
Hey, it is.
But I don't think you can put airplane on there. But you can get all your cars on this chassis dyno.
I'd like to see you put the airplane on.
I would too. I'd love that. Guys, when you get your motor work done, talk to Earl. Get you scheduled up for some time to get on his chassis dyno. Like we say every week, you can get all your bugs worked out, not just motor-wise, because when you get a motor from Earl, you don't have to worry about bugs in it. But you got a bunch of other parts behind it that rob you of horsepower, and you can figure out what is taking horsepower away and fix it before you get to the track. So call Earl Ramey up there at Earl Ramey Racing Engines and get some time on the chassis dyno. Get you a new motor, whatever you need.
Go get it.
Go
Or
get
just
it.
go hang out.
Just go hang out with him. He's got the good stories too.
A lot of good stories. Cool dude for sure.
Oh, show.
Yeah, you'll learn a lot. So yeah, go definitely check him out. You will not be disappointed by any means. So go get you some stuff. Load up. For sure.
Yep. Well, Sunday was Mother's Day, so I know it's a little late, but happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there.
I guess we should have started this show saying
We should have started saying happy Mother's Day.
Our
but
bad.
Better late than never.
1-800 our bad.
Yeah. If you need an apology from us, just be sure to call 1-800 our bad.
That's funny. But yeah, Mother's Day was good. We were able to grill out some leg quarters, barbecuing,
Barbecuing.
And so did that and watched the Martin Truex 400.
Yes.
And it's pretty much it. Wasn't a whole lot going on with that race, from what I saw.
The last 30 laps was the most exciting thing.
Yeah, when Larson was trying to catch
Larson
him.
tried his hardest, but I swear every time he got to him, he just couldn't. You can't pass.
Clean air.
You can't get up behind somebody. All of a sudden, you
Can't
just
do
start pushing the nose, and you lose. You got to wait on tires cool down before you can make another run,
Yep.
and just hope that they slip up when you get to them.
Yep.
And Martin never slipped up.
No, he was on his game for sure, and I don't even know. I think he led 250 laps or more. I don't even know. It was a bunch of them.
I don't know. It was a lot. Somebody in this race, I think he did lead a few laps there, but I'm normally not a fan. I will admit it. I'm normally not a fan. But I had to pull for Denny Hamlin a little bit this week.
Yeah, man. Awesome paint scheme on the car.
The only thing I wish was that they would have put it on Kyle Busch's car instead of Denny Hamlin's.
Yeah.
Simply because
The 18.
the number would have matched.
I know. I agree. I don't know why.
M&M's won't give it up.
They won't. They won't. They cannot. They're stubborn. They won't allow nothing else on the car, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would have been perfect. They could have switched numbers for a race. It wouldn't hurt nothing.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, it was cool. It was cool in all the races to see all the throwbacks. It was really neat. I always like this time of year. It's always normally in September, Labor Day.
Yeah.
But it's cool to have all three series here for the throwback.
Finally.
Yeah, for sure. So glad to see that. But yeah, the throwbacks were really cool. But I love seeing slick stuff on there. I know my daddy's looking down and loving that for sure. Worked on that car a lot.
Yeah.
Was part of that whole deal. So that was really cool. But it was neat seeing Chuck and and Benji and all of them up there hanging out and with the doing a little interview deal up there at Joe Gibbs Racing and I don't know, man. It just it brings back memories a lot. You see a lot of these old paint schemes, but especially somebody hits home like that, like Slicks, is really cool.
Yeah. I was really glad that everybody stepped up around here. I know we shared it wasn't just because of us, but I know a lot of you guys that listen to the show and follow us on social media, y'all really helped out in the voting process on that. So we really appreciate you guys voting for that paint scheme because there was some other option there. That was one of 4 options, and I guess just being in the area it was that there wasn't nobody else going to win.
Nah, they ain't stand a chance.
No.
They ain't stand a chance. So that was really cool for sure. But and I really felt like that paint scheme had a chance to go to Victory Lane because
it did for a while.
Denny's very good here at Darlington. Yeah, I thought, which really the Gibbs cars were ridiculously.
They're
good.
always good here.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch typically is about the worst of the bunch at Darlington.
Yeah.
But he didn't run bad
He
either.
was third, I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like we said earlier, Larson, he had a good car. I think he had the better car at the end. He just couldn't do anything once he got to him at all. But all in all, finally, out of the 3 races this weekend, I think the overall best car won the race. Martin was dominant, but it's again. I think it's the
that's what I'm
clean
fixing
air
to
deal.
say. Was it the best car?
I don't know.
That's what bothers me
he
about
led the whole race pretty much, so that's why I take it. But it's all in restarts. It's all in getting out front, clean air. So I don't know. I really don't know. I know I saw Larson make up like 0.6 of a second in like 2 laps.
Yeah, and then couldn't pass him.
And then got to him and couldn't do nothing and dropped back to a 3/4 of a second. I don't know. I don't really know.
That's why I almost just think anymore, especially at a track like that, just give me a good short run car. We may have a long run, but as long as I'm out front,
it don't matter.
It don't matter. I don't know. Yeah.
Again, we keep saying it. We're a broken record. We apologize, but
beating that dead horse over and over.
Maybe next year will be different. I hope it's not like the iRacing car.
You can't pass. Well, you can pass with it. You can definitely pass with it because if it's like the iRacing car, as soon as somebody gets behind you, they're probably spinning out or real close to it.
That's like horrible.
It drives great, drives wonderful until somebody's anywhere close to you.
Well, it drives like a Indy car. It's like it's.
I'm gonna say IMSA or something like that. It's got 5-speed transmission and
I was like
paddle shift.
Me and David both. We got up there and was like, man, this thing needs some more gear in it. At Darlington, you daggum tacked
redlining coming out of 2.
Coming out of 2, I can't go no faster. Oh, it's got 5 gears. My bad. I didn't know. I
ain't ever had a hit 5th.
But still, even in 5th gear at Darlington, thing was turning like 9,800 RPM. But
and running only like 170 mile an hour top speed.
It sounded like it's about to blow up. It's a whole lot slower.
And yes, this is just iRacing, so who knows if that's going to be anywhere close to real. We hadn't seen yet.
We don't know. But anyway.
I wouldn't mind a slower car if it's slower with a whole lot less downforce. I wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Which I mean, and even they ran the low downforce 750 package Sunday, and I think the drivers liked it. You can see, I mean, it was slipping and sliding a little bit there, but
it's still so much downforce on the nose you can't do anything when you're behind somebody.
Well, yeah, but I think it's just a car on top of the track. Unfortunately, Darlington is old, so it's abrasive. So abrasive tracks.
I agree, and Darlington has always been like that to an extent. But I still look back at 2 races come to mind when you had Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton racing for the win there. When who was it? It was Jeff Gordon going for the $1 million.
Yeah,
that time. And end up doing it. they fought and went back and forth for the last 20 laps of that race. So that was, and then you had Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven racing and doing the same thing. And again, beating this dead horse, I understand it on this super speedways, why they need the car sealed off to the ground, blah, 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 so don't flip and fly and cut back flips and do whatever. But are we really going that fast at Darlington to need it sealed off to the ground and worry about that much downforce on it?
I don't know, Bo. It's just so different now that, you know, I don't really know. I don't know what all they can change to make it different, make it better, but
get them off the ground, get air under them.
Well, I agree, but that's never going to happen at this point. I don't know. I just hope this new weird car is going to work. One plus is they can take the same car and go run to 24 hours of Daytona. That's cool.
They could. They really could.
No, I don't know.
The only plus I found is it sounds really good.
It does sound pretty cool.
It's got true dual exhaust now. Exhaust coming out both sides of the car.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat. But I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. I ain't going to knock it till we try it or, you know, see it, whatever. But
something.
I hope it does make for better racing. I know that. Because ain't nothing, you know, it's not nothing exciting knowing I can walk up there like we did, sitting there cooking, and 20 laps to go, I see Larson make up over half a second, 2 laps, and then see him drop back to 3/4 second and know that, okay, well, race is done. Unless there's a caution, right? There's no chance.
Yep.
And that's just not exciting.
And then he drive back to his bumper again.
Yeah, he did it like 3 or 4 times.
And couldn't do anything.
And just can't do nothing with it. So that's not exciting. You there's not going to be any challenges at any point.
The most exciting part in that race was when Larson cut between, I know it was Newman and somebody else.
Yeah, made it 3 wide.
Made it 3 wide going through the corner and 1 and 2. And made it work. I mean, that was the most exciting part of the whole race.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, hats off to everybody that won this weekend at Darlington and at Florence there. Pretty cool for sure. Racing here at the house pretty much.
2 cool things that happened at Darlington this weekend, though. First one, I'm going to say it's probably the bigger one, but the first one is Darlington announced, I think it was actually before the Cup race, it will be 100% capacity come Labor Day race.
Yes, sir.
Labor Day weekend. That's for all the series there.
Yep.
So that is awesome. Second cool thing that happened, it was minimal, but they said if you were had your vaccination card, just, you know, whatever, it's up for debate on that. But they were allowing some sponsors and team guests back in the pits.
Right.
I guess it was just on Sunday because it didn't look like a lot of people was in there.
No, there was not nobody in there.
On Friday or Saturday.
Right. It's going to slowly open back up. I think you're going to have your vaccination card to be able to get a hot pass in the future.
Yeah.
But it's going to open back up sooner rather than later for sure. But, you know, everything around here is starting to do it.
Well, they know they got to at least get sponsors down there because if not, these sponsors ain't going.
No, they're not.
That's literally, I mean, I hate to say it, but that's literally their only benefit anymore is get to go hang out with the teams.
Yeah.
At races.
Pretty much it.
So.
We'll see. Anyway, it was cool for sure. Glad we got 2 races again.
Yes.
Glad trucks are back.
Yes.
And we'll see what happens next year with the new car at Darlington. I'm looking forward to it.
Faux show. Well, we said we weren't going to talk long tonight, but
something happened.
I guess there was a lot of racing it happened this weekend.
It ended up being, yeah.
Oh, well, guys. Well, as always, we want to thank SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Draco Springs, RK Motorsports Consulting, our buddy Randy Keene up there at SRI, Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Ford Bite, Apparel, little update on Coal Train there. They was back down there in Tulsa this weekend. I think they had like 3 nights of racing, I want to say. It was all on flow racing. I got to watch a little bit of it. Man, he come up and run pretty good. There was out of like 40 cars. First night, I think he finished 3rd.
Oh,
Yeah, running good.
sweet.
Running good. It was like it's kind of set up kind of like Tulsa Shootout. You ran a couple nights, and if you're pointed enough, then you were locked in the big show on Saturday night. Well, he ended up locking himself into the big show Alpha points because the first night I think he ran 3rd, second night I think he ran 6th or something like that.
Sweet.
And this was out of 40 cars, so and ended up I think finishing. I can't remember. I had to look at it. I'm sorry. But he had awesome finishes all weekend long, regardless. So hats off to the 4Bike crew, Team Vandy, Coal Train out there making it happen, making it work. So it's pretty cool. So, but anyway, guys, getting summertime, getting warm outside. Go check out forwardbikeapparel.co to get your summer apparel, I guess you say. Some girls, go get your tank tops.
Yeah. Go get them.
I'm like, yeah. Also drivers. I'll tell you what I got. Pretty cool. They got helmet visor strips. There's always look cool on helmets, regardless of what helmet.
Oh, yeah, it always does, for sure.
And what better way to have a cool one other than one that says forward bite on it? I got mine.
Yes, sir.
I got mines. Y'all go check it out. They got a bunch of cool stuff, cool summer stuff coming out, as always. So y'all go check out Forward Bite. Checkered, the race hub. Appreciate them. All racing, all the time on new social media. It's not even, is it new still?
I don't really think
about
it's
new
new.
a
'Cause
year
we're
and a
not
half.
new.
We're not new.
I don't think we're new.
I think we're probably still one of the newest racing
I think we're
podcasts.
old timers now.
Other than, speaking of new,
Our buddies.
our buddies, Tyler Logard and Cale Mabin. If y'all haven't heard yet, we shared it on our social media stuff. The Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. Y'all go check them out. Tyler and Cale, which is really funny because they talk about it on their first show. Y'all have to go listen to it. How they actually have not met in person yet, but they do a podcast together.
Hey, that's cool, man.
It is pretty cool. But Tyler runs a they've both been on our show before. Y'all have heard them on here. Tyler runs a SCDRA car up there in Pennsylvania. Cale runs a dirt legend car in Ohio for the most part. Some down in Kentucky also. So you get their perspectives on their races every week and see what else they got going on in the world of dirt short tracks up their area and all the other cool stuff that goes on up there. So y'all check out the Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. Y'all like it. Two good guys.
Faux show.
No show.
Faux show. Yeah, we appreciate them too, and we're going to get on there on the tail end of it one day.
We might have to get on there and see if we can get Black Flag to the back of it or something. I don't know. Bringing up the tail of the features, I guess.
Exactly. That'd be fun.
Oh, it'll be real fun. Also, I want to thank RMAC Solutions. All you guys in the fab industry, in this stock car industry, you always need stuff for your fab machinery. So y'all go check RMAC Solutions out.
Yeah, definitely check them out, man. You want, like you said, you got to repair your stuff. You got to buy new stuff. You want to. It don't matter. Give them a call. They can do anything for sheet metal work, welders, plasma cutters, you name it. They can get it. Just give them a call. Check them out.
New or used, or service your existing machinery.
Or from the words of Danny Lockamy,
Noosed. Or from the words of Sterling, it's dramatically great.
That's an awesome word. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't wrote it down. That is
How you spell it?
I ain't figured that out yet. I got a couple different ways here, but dramatically, that's an awesome word. I'm gonna use it for both show. Don't be stealing my word, people.
They will. Well, that's what you want to happen because you want it to become part of.
Well, you got to put it instead of a TM behind it. You got to put an SH.
SH. It's Sterling Hewitted.
Yeah. Not that I make up words or anything at all. But you know,
yeah.
it happens.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us again this week, and I reckon we will be back same time, same place next week, and we'll be checking y'all out then.
Later.